So, Nalyssa Smith in a crazy situation, an absolutely crazy situation in her game today. And if you guys agree that this situation is crazy, subscribe. We're trying to hit 27,850 by the end of the day, and we are 19 away. But Nalyssa Smith's brother basically has come out and gone mad, like on Twitter, going crazy at Christie's sides. Again, I don't want to show this guy's Twitter, but like I have. There are receipts out there. He's retweeting free lists, retweeting all the why hasn't the list been put back in. He deleted a tweet. Thankfully, he deleted it, but I will not bring it up on screen, but I'm reading it now. Coach, if you don't want her, trade her. And is then responding to basically every single tweet about Nalyssa Smith on Christie sides. And like, it's not even, the funniest part about it is that like, he's actually, half the time he is responding to people saying Nalyssa Smith, like, basically Nalyssa Smith sucks with Christie sides is taking her confidence away. Like, he almost half seems in, like, not fully in agreement, because there's no one that's a bigger fan than Nalyssa Smith, but like, he's even looking at a player that he doesn't even recognize, it seems. And like, again, if you saw what she was like at Baylor, I had to, like, look, I was someone who watched a bit of WNBA, watched a bit of college basketball, knew who Nalyssa Smith was, didn't really know how good she was. Looked back at some of the clips of her in Baylor where she looked legit. Absolutely legit. Like, she's someone who, like, could be a star. But the Nalyssa Smith, by the way, that is playing for the Fever, should not be on the floor. The way Nalyssa Smith is playing this season, she should not be on the floor. It's as simple as that. She is playing that badly. But also, it's very clear, you've seen it with Nalyssa Smith, she is somebody that needs a good situation. And if I'm the Fever, I'm getting off her. Like, she's going to walk in free agency and be worth nothing. She's going to walk in 2 years. She has some value because she was, again, what did she average? Like 14 and 10 last year? She is, or close to it. She is a walking double-double. Like this season, 11 and 7. This isn't a good season for her. Like, if you want to look at some other years, like 2023, I hate the way, like, for some reason it doesn't show total stats anymore on this. But, like, if you're looking some games, rebounds 11, 6, 7, 13, 11, 11, 11. Points 16. She had a 30-point game last year, 18, 8. Like, on decent percentages. Like, these are on decent percentages. This isn't the same player. And look, it's a fit. It can be a fit issue too. Like, the way the team wants to play is probably not the way Nalyssa Smith is going to be at her best. And the team is winning more now. So I don't think you can really not necessarily go at Christie sides too much, because sometimes with someone's coaching, the way they want to coach, their coaching style, it's going to fit certain players. It's not going to fit others. And clearly it's just not fitting Nalyssa Smith. So, yeah, it really is a pity, because a player of the ability of Nalyssa Smith, you would be thinking, like, that is the exact type of player the Fever needs going forward. But I don't see it. I don't see it it lasting. I don't see this being a situation where there is a long-term fit there. Because, look, Nalyssa Smith has her good games. She has her bad games. On defense, she's not good on defense. I don't think anyone will ever call Nalyssa Smith a good defender. She looked lost out there. She looked absolutely lost. So I really do. I'm a little bit disappointed for both her own sake and for the sake of the Fever that she wasn't moved to trade deadline. Like, if I'm Indiana and you want like players that will play a certain style, players that might fit, like I would have called the Aces. Like, you could have gotten, like, Nalyssa Smith is way better than both Megan Gustafson and Kate Martin, but you could have made like a Christie Wallace, who I think Christie Wallace could give something to the Aces off the bench. A Christie Wallace and Nalyssa Smith for Meg Gustafson and what's her name? Kate Martin. Their salaries near match up. There's not that much of a difference there. Their salaries are very close to each other as far as this matchup wise goes. And I think both teams had a little bit of cap space. And like that trade, it allows Nalyssa Smith to basically, when Age is off the floor, it gives them a score at the 4. It makes the Aces better. But you've also got two players that might fit more around Caitlin Clark than Nalyssa Smith does. Because that's the big flaw. His fit. And that's the problem. It's like the fit's not there. Very clearly, we've seen through social media that Christie Sides is not a fan of Nalyssa Smith. And look, it might be one of those situations where it's like a spiral effect where it's like Christie Sides probably not a fan of Nalyssa Smith. And Nalyssa Smith's confidence there, she's playing worse. Christie Sides becomes less of a fan, and you can very easily spiral where it's like you start your coach isn't a fan of you, and then you start playing worse because your confidence is gone, and your minutes are going to drop, and you're getting annoyed, and your confidence drops even more, and you start playing worse. And it's like, look, it can happen to any player. It can happen to absolutely any player, and clearly something is happening. Like, if her brother's going on and basically saying trade her at this stage, something's happening. It's just a pity that, like, look, I don't think she's on the team next season. If I'm Indiana, I would try to get maybe take the 5th pick off the Valkyries. Convince the Valkyries they don't need a draft pick. Because will the Fever protect her? It's like, I'm looking at who the Fever have. They're like, Fever obviously going to be protecting Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark. I'm trying to think, who else can they protect? Like, do you go and just effectively just try to screw your team, get as many free agents as possible so you can attack the free agent market this year? But I don't know. But if you're asking me what do I think Nalyssa Smith's on this team next year, no. But I will always stand by this point. I think Nalyssa Smith makes an all-star team. I don't think it's in Indiana, but a lot of people call me crazy for that. I still think she makes an all-star team. Because when she's kind of... Her touch is too good around the rim. Her finishing's too good. She does too many good things on the floor to not have one season where it all comes together and she becomes an all-star. But I do think that right now it's just not a good fit the way the team plays. They don't play to her style, and she doesn't seem like the type of player that will thrive in a system that's not necessarily built around her, but a system where she doesn't really touch the ball ever. And that's what Indiana is, unfortunately. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.